Welcome to the Chosen Podcast. We appreciate you spending some time with us. Make sure you listen to the whole episode because it's going to be a good one. Have you shared our show with anyone yet? Make sure you do us a solid and tell every athlete you know. Now let's get to it. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Chosen Podcast. My name is Wes of the Chosen Ones, home of student athlete empowerment. I want to thank everybody for listening. Thanks for listening now. If you've been listening, thank you. I'm excited about this topic today. We've been on the topic of confidence building. So how to grow your confidence, part 2. Last week, we talked about positive self-talk and how important that is to your confidence and just your way of life, right? So being more kind to yourself, encouraging yourself, just the way you encourage your friends, your teammates, and anybody in your life, you need the same thing, encouraging yourself. So last week I left you guys with a challenge of coming up with your own I am statements, right? So to reflect on that, your I am statement, pretty self-explanatory. It's I am blank, right? So for me, I thought I was a great shooter when I was playing. So that's my first I am statement. I am a great shooter. So really just encouraging myself in that. And that's my identity as a shooter. And that's how I mostly made my contributions to the team, right? So the second one was I am a great defender. Wasn't true all the time because, I wasn't the best defender, but that was an area where I truly needed encouragement, truly needed more confidence in. So the more I said it, the more I started to believe it, the more effort that I gave on the floor. So I'm curious to see what your I am statements are. Remember, you can email me at wes@thechosenOnesGR.com or hit me up on Instagram at thechosenOnesGR. I would love to hear what those are and talk about that. So that was week 1. If you haven't heard week 1, definitely go back and listen to that. You don't have to do it right now, but definitely go back after this episode. It's about 14 minutes long or something like that. So not too long. But for week 2, let's get into that. I just got a haircut, so I'm feeling real confident right now. If you ever got a fresh cut, you know exactly what I mean. So let's do it. So week 2, hey, let's be about it. Let's be about it. Last week was talk about it. This week is be about it. So be about it is all about body language. So in this talk, I want you guys to learn to be mindful of your body language at all times, not just sometimes, but all times. So first question for you is, what's your body language like right now? Are you sitting? Are you slouching? Do you got your head down? Are you on your phone right now? Are you listening to me? Are you working out, walking? What's your body language like right now? So just learn to be mindful of that. When you're sitting in school or when you're watching TV or when you're talking to somebody, what's your body language like right now? So body language is so important because it's easy. It's easy to read someone's mood. It's easy to read how they're doing, right? So if you're talking to a friend, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, and you're saying, "What's up? How you doing?" And they're like, "Oh, I'm great." But you can see on their face that they're not doing great. You can see maybe their shoulders are slouched, their head is down, right? So body language is so important. And I want to start this off with a quote, right? The quote of the day is, body language affects your thoughts, and your thoughts drive your feelings. Feelings drive behavior, and behavior drives results. So what is it saying? Let me break it down. Basically, your body language directly affects the results of any situation that you're in. So if you have poor body language, you're more than likely going to fail whatever you're trying to do. If you go to the free throw line in crunch time and your body language is poor, you most likely will miss that free throw, right? If you go to the bench and you have poor body language because you made a bad play and you're slouching, got your arms crossed the entire time, number 1, your coach probably won't put you back into the game until you start acting right. But number 2, you get back into the game, your mind won't be right. So facts or no? I think it's facts. So let me read that again. Body language affects your thoughts. thoughts drive feelings, feelings drive behavior, and behavior drives results. So remember that your body language directly affects what you are trying to do and achieve. So again, be mindful. Be mindful of your body language. So another question, did you know that if you had bad body language, you're more than likely to think negative thoughts? Scientifically proven. And if you had good body language, on the flip side, you're more likely to think positive thoughts. So that's another thing to think about. So the more your body language is good, you're more than likely to think about good things, right? When we think about good things, you're more confident, you're in a better mood, and everybody wants to be in a better mood, right? So yeah. So why is body language important? So let's talk about it. I kind of hinted at this earlier. Coaches value this a lot. So when I played at Grand Valley, I dealt with this a lot. I talked to my friend the other day about it. The first time I got chewed out in practice my freshman year, it was about my body language. Most of the time when I got chewed out, it was because of my body language. So I'm more of a laid back type of guy. I was kind of like Kawhi Leonard out there on the court. It's pretty quiet. And I just did my thing, right? I wasn't the loudest. I wasn't the most demonstrative. I really had to force that emotion out, especially being a point guard and setting that tone emotionally for the team. But coaches will not put you in if your body language is bad. I'm sure you heard this before. Fix your body language. On the bench, fix your body language, right? So, reason number 2, it's a sign of leadership. So, when your body language is good, especially if you're a leader, if you're a senior in your team, or if you're the best player in your team and players look up to you, and if your body language is bad, they're like, oh man, Mike's body language is bad. Looks like he checked out. I'm going to check out too. Or if your body language is good, you guys are down, 8 points with 4 minutes to go in the game. Your body language is still good. You're still engaged. Your teammates going to follow suit. Guaranteed. They're going to follow suit. So it's a sign of leadership. Number 3, opponents read body language very well. So question for you, what goes through your mind when an opponent has bad body language? You're probably like, all right, it's time to kill. Like, I smell blood. They're giving up. They're quitting. Let's get it, right? Exactly. So if you have that bad body language, that's the same thing that your opponent is thinking about you. So I can end the pod episode right there because that's so important. 3 reasons right there. So, but we're not going to end there. I got more for you. All right. So I'm going to end this episode with a few tips for you, right? How can we change our body language? What are some good examples of good body language? So let's get into that. Number 1 is that Superman pose. So if you ever watch Superman, he's standing on top of the building. He got his hands on his hips with his chest out, with his head up. Like, yeah, I'm that dude. I'm that guy. That's a great one. That's a great one. So if you ever feel like, man, I'm down or I made a bad play, try that Superman pose. Try that Superman pose. Stick your chest out like, yeah, I'm that guy or I'm that girl, right? Number 2, what was your body language like in your top moments? So just think about that. Maybe you hit a game-winning shot or you hit a big shot, right? To tie the game or go ahead. Maybe you got an amazing defensive stop. What was your body language like before and after that amazing moment, right? When I think about RIP Kobe Bryant, I think about, when he hits a big shot, when he hit a big shot back in the day, where he showed the bottom of his teeth. If you're a Kobe fan, you know what I'm talking about. Michael Jordan, when he was about to do something crazy, he stuck his tongue out, right? He was famous for that. What is your go-to? Think about it. Come up with one. Another one, look to the sky. Look to the sky. Because if you're looking up, what are you not doing? You're not looking down, right? So whenever you make a mistake, probably the first thing you want to do is put your head down like, dang, right? Try to refrain from that. Do the opposite. Put your head up. I was actually talking to Maddie Petrolia from Hudsonville. Shout out to her. And I think her coach has them look down like at their shoes and their shoelaces. And they have like a message on there, and it reminds them, keep playing, next play. And I thought that was pretty dope. So that's another one, another great idea. Next one is control your smile, or control your face. My bad. Control your face. So smile. You make a mistake, smile. It's another science thing. When you smile, you have all sorts of endorphins going through your body, and your mood changes a little bit. So the more you smile, the more your mood changes, the more loose you are. So fix your face. You know what I mean? Smile. I always wondered, whenever athletes turn the ball over or they make a mistake and they smile, I'm like, what you smiling for? What you smiling for? But no, they're just trying to keep loose and keep their mood, in a good positive place. So whenever you see an athlete smiling on TV after a mistake, that's probably why. And that's something that you should take out of their bag and put it in yours. The next one is clap. One of my favorites. So especially if you're frustrated, just get a clap. Just get a clap out, shake it off, and go to the next one, right? Or just clap a couple times to encourage yourself. My bad, let's go. We got it. You know what I mean? Clap. And the last one, my favorite, is high fives. So in the Chosen Academy, we do a drill called 5-minute shooting, right? Throughout the drill, I challenge everyone to count how many high fives that they can give. And they tell me at the end. So high fives is so vital when it comes to team chemistry, when it comes to team morale. One rule of thumb, the more love you give, the more love you'll get back. It's that simple. So I think Steve Nash gave like 275 high fives per game or something like that. I don't know who was counting, but that's a ridiculous amount of high fives. But it's no mistake that Steve Nash is one of the best point guards of all time. It's no secret that a lot of his teams were some of the best teams in the NBA. He never won a ring, but he was still successful. Hall of Famer. So high fives. So I want to end things with a little exercise for you. You can write this stuff down, or you can just reflect on it, right? It's always good to do self-reflections and to think about just you and how you've been doing, how you're doing mentally, right? So first question, what are your biggest weaknesses on the court? Heck, you can even do your biggest weaknesses off the court in your life, right? Second question, how are you going to purposely put yourself in situations that expose yourself in those weaknesses? The only way to get better at them is to put yourself in that position. For me, I hated ball pressure. And I hated working on it in practice. But the more I did it, the better I got at it. And when I got into games, I felt more comfortable with it. So how are you going to purposely put yourself in those situations? And number 3, who will be your accountability? You need accountability. You need a partner. You need someone or a couple people in your circle that will hold you accountable with it. So maybe you can do these drills with those people. Or maybe you can check in with them every week saying, all right, I'm doing well in this. I need work in this. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you have an accountability partner. Without that, it's hard to be successful without accountability. Does that make sense? Cool. If you made it this far, thank you. I appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Make sure you take that homework and do it. You can send it to me. Again, I'm always down to talk, to chop it up. Email me at wes@thechoseenonesgr.com or hit me up on Instagram at thechoseenonesgr. So I appreciate it. Make sure you share this episode out to teammates, to friends, to anybody that you know that would like to hear this. So I appreciate it. Until next time, deuces. That's a wrap. Thanks for listening to another episode of The Chosen Podcast. We appreciate the support. Do us a favor and send this episode to someone that needs it. Peace.